Hello everyone, Jules here. Today I'd like to talk about 3 books about Rosicrucianism. Rosicrucianism is related to Kabbalah and the Tarot. So I wanted to talk about 3 books for people who would like to know more about Rosicrucianism. And Rosicrucianism is something that is also related to the Golden Dawn because it was a very big influence as a philosophy on the founders of the Golden Dawn. And there is a connection with the Golden Dawn and therefore with Kabbalah and the Tarot because there is an overlap of esoteric philosophy and Hermetic thought that ties in together with Rosicrucianism. So the first book is one I've shown before on my books that are written by Paul Foster Case, and this is The True and Invisible Rosicrucian Order. This is the hardcover book that was published by Weiser in the mid-80s, and this is out of print. It is pretty difficult to get. If you are lucky enough, you may find another hardcover version, or otherwise you might be able to find this in a paperback version. I'm not sure if it was ever published in paperback, but if you could get a copy of this book, it's really great. The first half of the book, part 1, is all about Rosicrucianism as a philosophy and the history of Rosicrucianism, what it actually is. And then part 2 is all about Kabbalah and the Tarot and how the Rosicrucian thought ties in with Kabbalah and the Tarot through each of the major arcana cards. So this is a great book. For people who don't know, Paul Foster Case was a member of a later group that had branched out of the Golden Dawn and then founded his own order in America called the Builders of the Adytum, and they are still operating in America. So Paul Foster Case is actually overlooked a bit. He was actually quite an important figure in the esoteric and tarot world, and he also created his own tarot deck as well. And a lot of people know about Arthur Waite and Aleister Crowley, but Paul Foster Case is really, I think, the third person who should be remembered as well for his very important contribution to Tarot and Kabbalah. So this is the True and Invisible Rosicrucian Order by Paul Foster Case. The next book is another one I have shown on a video before about esoteric philosophy and esoteric books. The Secret Teachings of All Ages by Manly P. Hall. This is still available. It's quite a thick book. It has many chapters in here, much information on Rosicrucian thought and symbolism and ideas and concepts. Manly P. Hall was quite a well-known Rosicrucian follower and author in America. And this is really a classic book. It has Hermetic ideas in here as well. It actually talks about the history of Hermetic thought and philosophy, but there's so many different things. There's a whole range of things in here, including a chapter on the tarot. There's information on Kabbalah in here. And there's really good information, of course, on Rosicrucianism as well, because it is the Rosicrucian philosophy that ties everything together just as much as Hermetic philosophy. They're kind of intertwined. They can be separated out as well, but Rosicrucian philosophy does include Hermetic philosophy and Hermetic ideas, and that is why it also influenced Hermetic Kabbalah, and that is why it all ties in together and also was a great influence in the tarot decks of the Golden Dawn. So this is a great book. It's really worth getting, and you could just use it as a reference book and just read any of the chapters on a whole range of topics that are in here. So this is The Secret Teaching of All Ages by Manly P. Hall, and as I said, it's quite easily available. This is one particular version that is around. There is another version around with a different cover. They're basically the same book, and but I'll put the details below the video for this particular version. And the last book is called The Rosicrucian Enlightenment by Francis Yates. This book is really useful for people who want a historical background to Rosicrucianism. Francis Yates was one of the few academics who researched and studied esoteric philosophy. And she wrote a few books in this area. And this is a great book because, well, it's the only one that I know of that's actually written from a historical perspective by an academic, if that's what people would like. It is a fairly accessible book. It's not all that difficult to read. But it's a really important book for people who want to know more about what Rosicrucianism is, the history of that, how did it start. It basically started in Europe during the Renaissance period, or late Renaissance period. Some say it was a bit before that, but all of the information, the more accurate information, is in here. I think that's the most important thing. I think there is a bit of speculation and a bit of mystery around the Rosicrucian movement as a secret society, which it was, and it had to be a secret society at the time because of the power of the church at the time. So for people who want that history of the Rosicrucian movement and the society and how it started, and they want something more accurate as well, without a lot of speculation and without facts that are available. There are facts available about this, and I think it's better to get an accurate picture because it is a mysterious area anyway, but because there are some known facts that have been uncovered in historical research, it's worth knowing about. So this is probably the best book about accurate research about the Rosicrucian Society. So this is the Rosicrucian Enlightenment by Francis Yates, and this is still available and quite easy to get. So I'll put all of the details below the video, and I hope you enjoyed finding out about some books that you can read if you would like to know more about Rosicrucianism. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.